All right, in this short video, I'll be giving you a little walk around on the 1992 Nissan Pathfinder SE 5-speed. It could use a bath, but I think anybody who's shopping for one of these will kind of know what they're looking at. This is actually a factory brush guard, which are pretty much unobtainium, impossible to find. I believe a previous owner has replaced the hood at some point. It's not quite matched, and this hood is beat up. I mean, it looks like the rest of the car's in great shape, but this hood is just thrashed. So I don't know, if you're interested, I guess repaint the hood or source a new one, but the rest of the truck is in great shape. I have the rear tire carrier uninstalled right now because I'm painting it in the backyard, but it has that. All the black trim work has been repainted, so it looks pretty sharp. And got some Goodyear Wranglers factory-sized 31s, which a lot of people don't believe, but you can confirm it for yourself right there. 31 by 10.5 R15s. So that's what I've reinstalled. The interior is really the key here. I mean, every one of these you're going to find is just going to have an absolutely destroyed interior. This one's in phenomenal shape. I could probably vacuum it again, but you can see the seats are immaculate. Center consoles are there. I have an armrest for it, but that's broken. But, you know, it's just a cubby hole for now. It's got a brand new shift knob. All the parts are here, which again, not super common on these. Dashboard is all in one piece. I just have a sun cover up to protect it. Comes with an owner's manual. I have service manuals, a bunch of other things as well they've printed out. AC does not work. It is R12 still, so that's quite a endeavor if you wanted to retrofit the AC. Yeah, it's Colorado. I don't really need AC. And it does have an aftermarket stereo with a USB input, which I just stick my phone in here, and this little shorty cord works great. And the stereo actually sounds pretty decent. It's got it's got a four speaker system, 2 composites here in the doors, and then 2 subs in the back. I'll show those in a second. Also, it's got this, which is also pretty much impossible to find. Let me go into zoom out. There we go. And then this screws off if you want a little sunlight. And this is in great shape. I've been told that these actually go for hundreds of dollars online. So there you go. Nice little added bonus and some sun protection if you need it. Rear seats are in fantastic shape. Everything works as it should. They actually recline, which I didn't realize until recently. And the headliner works, or looks fantastic. All the interior lights work as they should. Got power locks, which work as they should, which is a common failure point. Another common failure point on these is behind the gauge cluster, there's a transistor that goes out, and you lose your fuel gauge and your temperature gauge. I fixed that, so all the gauges work. All the electronics works too. You got your cruise control, got your power windows. Those work as intended. Yeah, everything works. The only thing that doesn't work is the interlock, so you can actually start the truck without having to press the clutch down, and it'll start right up. So you can see I didn't have to press the clutch to start the car, so I don't know. Usually that's a switch you have to hit if you're off-roading. You can do a clutchless start, but this is just permanently clutchless, which if you drive a manual, should be a big deal. Yeah, let's go take a look at the rest of the car, I guess. Like I mentioned, rear seats, fantastic shape. They do recline, which again, I did not realize until recently, but that's pretty cool. They fold flat. You can actually fold the back seats flat as well, and you can get like 9 feet of flat room back here, which is wild. All the struts work. That was one of the fixes I had to do, but the rear glass struts open just fine. These open just fine. Everything back here is intact. You got your jack kit there. Both the subs work. Yeah, there's really nothing to be mad about here. This one-handed. It's a little dirty down here. Yeah, I use this quite a bit off the road, as intended. Starts up just fine. Battery's great. Runs strong. I've had a lot of work done to this motor. This car was seriously neglected, but it was in such good shape. Otherwise, I just couldn't let it die. So I got a full list of all the receipts and all the work. The exhaust manifold was reinstalled, so there's no exhaust leaks. Brand new intake parts here. Very, very expensive parts. It runs super smooth. Gas mileage is obviously shit because it's a 30-year-old car on 31s with a relatively underpowered V6, but it moves. First gear is a granny gear, so you know, it gets up and goes. No roof rack, but you can install one if you want. Yeah, I've always loved these. Honestly, I think these are the next big things, as Toyotas are now oppressively expensive to own, especially like first-gen 4Runners. These are just as cool and retro. I mean, look at this interior. I prefer these kind of square dashes to the later WD-21 soft round dashes. They're just so cool, and they're tough, and they go anywhere, and this thing has never failed me. It's not going to fail you. 172,000 miles strong. That's nothing for these motors, especially with how much TLC I've given it in my ownership. So, yeah. 4-wheel drive, works as it should. Oh yeah, I guess the one other thing that doesn't work in this. I had fog lights. I have them. I uninstalled them because they weren't connected. But there's a fog light switch here. They're not wired up. There's no fog lights installed. And it has adjustable suspension from the factory, sport and touring modes. That does not work. I think the adjustable shocks are still installed in the car. They're just old and tired. It could probably use some new shocks. And you can either source the OG OEM ones and have this adjustable mode, but from what I read, it wasn't really that good of a feature to begin with. And you can just put some nice conies on there or whatever you want. Yeah. 2003 Nissan Pathfinder SE 5-speed. Let me know.